Today, we're starting with Chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is entitled The Yoga of the Despondency of Arjuna. Now, it's important to know exactly what the Bhagavad Gita is about. And essentially, it is a story, so the characters within this book are not real. Arjuna represents the spiritual aspirant, or you, me. Krishna represents the supreme infinite consciousness, or the indwelling spirit of God. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's a war going on. And the war, possibly it was related to a historical event, but for our purposes in the Kriya Yoga tradition, it represents the war or the battle that's being fought to wake up to infinite consciousness, to wake up to your true whole self. When the battle starts, we have Krishna and we have Arjuna. And on both sides, we have powerful warriors. On one side, the warriors are, they are the qualities, the tendencies that keep us in bondage. And the main tendency that they're fighting for on this one side is individualized awareness. Thinking that you are an individualized being, separate from the wholeness of creation. On the other side of this battle are the sons of Pandu. And these are the chakral frequencies, and these are manifestations of the Om vibration, the indwelling spirit of God. So on one hand, we have the tendencies which separate individualized separate awareness. On the other hand, we have the powers, or the prana frequencies, which support the evolution of consciousness, waking up. So these transformative influences of awakened soul awareness are the prana frequencies within the chakras, within the spine. That's why when we meditate, we bring our awareness to this central channel. We feel it, we listen, we pull the prana up the spine, because that is taking us away from, beyond, separative tendencies that we have. There's a list in here of the distinguished warriors on both sides. On the opposing side, which keeps us in bondage, the warriors include memories of experiences which support change and transformation, a strong sense of individuality, worldliness which is attached to superficial and transient things and circumstances, and hatred or strong dislike, and inconstancy. So these are the issues which keep us bound. On the other side, we have the prana frequencies. Alright, so the indwelling spirit of God, or the Om vibration, commands the soul's ardent aspiration to prevail and other manifested evidential powers. So these are the sounds of the prana frequencies in the lumbar chakras, the dorsal chakras, the prana frequencies in the cervical chakras and the sacral chakras, and also the base chakras. And these are represented by enthusiasm, spirituality, self-control, the virtue of equanimity, and invincible truth consciousness. All these are enlivened by listening to the Om vibration. You have your addictive tendencies, your psychological perversions, the sense of individuality, feeling separate from the world, strong hatred or dislike for whatever it may be. Now, the way you overcome these isn't necessarily by fighting them, forcing them away. The way you overcome them is through enthusiasm, spirituality, self-control, and virtue of equanimity, invincible truth consciousness, and enlivened and manifested prana force. Speaking the truth is one of the main ones within this process. Because, as we talked about, I think it was a couple weeks ago, the idea of the gunas, so the tamas guna, which is the power which draws us down into inertia, makes us sleepy, lazy, lethargic, all these sorts of things. There's the rajas guna, which allows us to accomplish things, but also can make us too outwardly directed. And then there's sattva guna, which is truth, contentment, and light. So the words that come out of your mouth, or the thoughts that you have in your head that you don't speak, they're indicative of the guna, which is manifesting more potently within your life. So things like sarcasm, saying nasty things, not being truthful, this indicates rajas and tamasic guna. If you can speak the truth, then you are reconditioning your external experience to manifest truth in all ways. And as we've said before, if you can speak the truth and you can manifest truth in all ways, that means you will also know the truth. And so this contentment that we talked about last week will be able to manifest itself more easily. Speaking the truth is the key within your daily life to waking up. And it's not just speaking, it's being the truth as best you know how. All right? Now, enthusiasm. In my experience with spirituality and alternative healing methods, one of the main things that gets in the way of these processes working is doubt and laziness. If a person comes to a spiritual path and they are critical or doubtful of it just because that's their nature, it's okay to ask questions, but if they are always in this state, they never give it a chance to see if it works, it's not going to work. Same thing with medicine, same thing with healing. The best treatments in the world can fail if the person does not believe they will be successful. So enthusiasm. Once you find a path, once you're on the path, maintaining that state of alert, powerful joy in the process. That is what helps it all work. Just like we were talking about last night in regards to when you meditate, if you can bring up a feeling of peace, a feeling of joy, a feeling of contentment, and really truly hold that and feel that in your heart when you're practicing, that helps to recondition the consciousness, and that helps to lift you above all the things which keep you locked in this individualized awareness. Because the problem we all have, really, is the sense of being separate from the rest of life. If we really knew that we were fully and totally and completely a part of everything, supported in all ways, whole in all ways, just imagine the psychological confusion that would disappear. Being fully supported. You are that. The key is to learn that and to be enthusiastic about the possibility of knowing that. Other great warriors on the side of spiritual growth. Concentrated pure love and omniscience. The Kundalini energy as it rises up the spine. These are all things to tune into. So concentrated pure love. That means love without condition. So, loving the now. We talked about contentment last week. Being here now and remaining established in the sense of love. Whatever comes, you can still feel that love. You choose to feel that love. No matter what happens, you choose to always feel that love. That helps to lift up this Shakti, or this prana, up through the spine naturally, to help awaken the higher brain centers and awaken the higher chakras. In Vedic astrology, there are remedial measures such as gemstones and mantras, rituals and other things. And one of the best ways to empower those practices isn't just simply to get a stone or to get a pendant or to practice a certain ritual. It's to live a life of purity and truth. Because when you do that, and when you can conserve your vital resources, you don't waste your time on frivolous things, you have at your command or at your disposal this natural energy which wants to rise up the spine and wake you up. So if you waste it on things which are not conducive to spiritual awakening, you don't have the juice or the power to make the most of these remedial measures that you use. Okay? So, that said, spiritual practices, they become empowered by manifesting, by choosing to experience this pure, unconditioned love and feeling this omniscience, this wholeness with life. Even if you don't know what it feels like, imagine what it feels like. Because when you imagine it, you're kind of sending out these thought waves, you're tuning your radio, and you're saying, I'm open to experiencing the truth of omniscience. I'm open to experiencing the truth of being in pure love at all times. And then the reality becomes true for you. So you have to hold it in yourself first until it becomes true. And again, that's where the enthusiasm comes in, staying with it until you have the direct experience. There are only two mistakes a person can make on the path to liberation. One is not starting, and the other is not going all the way. Okay? So by developing enthusiasm, being self-motivated, you can make yourself go all the way. And it doesn't matter what other people are doing. This is an inner practice for you.